Hi YouTube, it's Dawn, and today I'm doing my series, my part 5 out of 10 things that I've learned about myself along my weight loss surgery journey. I had Roux-en-Y gastric bypass 6.5 years ago, was a high weight of around 288 pounds, and it's been an up and down ride throughout the time. Best thing I ever did, absolutely. Anyways, number 5 today is talking about the piece of accountability and how huge it is for me. It would be very easy to get off track, and from time to time I do get off track and I have to get back on the horse and pick myself up, dust myself off, and begin again. The ways that I keep myself accountable are varied. Number 1 is that scale. I have to get on the scale most days. It's actually quite rare that I get on the scale for less than once a week. I have to get on there quite a bit just to keep in check. I try to remember that I have fluctuations, and depending on sodium and water and how late I eat and all that kind of thing, the scale will tell a different story each time. But it overall keeps me accountable for what I'm putting in my body. My clothing size too helps to keep me accountable. I've gone up one size after having my regain, so I'd like to get back down a size to get back into the clothes that I had. If that happens, I'll be thrilled. I've been working on it for 4 years though and haven't had too much success, to be honest. But I should say I have kept off, over 130 pounds, so, I'm not doing too bad either, especially after 6.5 years. We know those regain statistics are real. So another way I keep myself accountable is by journaling and writing down the foods that I eat every day. I still try to weigh and measure as much as I can, especially when I'm trying really hard to stay on program. There are times I mindlessly eat and I don't journal, I'll admit that, and that's usually when the scale is pissing me off, and because I'm choosing, of course, not to make the best decisions. And so sometimes you kind of say, I just don't want to deal with the scale, and put the scale away. And like I said, it's never more than a week that goes by before I get out that scale and start digging away at those pounds that maybe I gained during the week. Usually it's, a quick on and then a quick off. Anyways, back to what I was saying. The scale and my clothing size keep me accountable. My journaling keeps me accountable. And I like to use my Fitness Pal because I can use it on my phone. It has a great little app for my phone. I have an iPhone. And the part that I like the most about the app is that it has a little pie graph, and it's only available actually on the phone app. It's not available on the computer, my Fitness Pal, but it's a little pie chart that will tell you your breakdown of protein, fats, and carbs, and that really helps me a lot to make sure that I'm keeping on track with that high protein. Another way I keep myself accountable is by the support group. And I highly encourage people to find a support group, whether it's your local support group, the one affiliated with your community, the one affiliated with your doctor, your surgeon, wherever you can find support, online support. I mean, there's a slew of groups on obesity help. There's a slew of groups on Facebook as well. But the accountability piece for the support group is really important, because even when I get frustrated and want to throw my scale out the window, I know that once a month I kind of have to face the fact of where I am and what I'm doing and make sure that I get back on track, because I'm accountable to my group, and I show up and people are going to know how I'm doing. So sometimes the little edge, the little push from other people sometimes keeps you on track. And then standing in front of the group and then talking about bariatric surgery, and seeing newbies coming in and how they're eating and remembering the basic rules really helps me too, because sometimes it's really easy to forget the rules and get off course, and sometimes you need a little reminder, a little nudge in your butt to get you moving again. And we're all human, we're all inherently full of mistakes, so I find my support group really helpful for that. Sometimes you have to be careful too, because then you get into the whole comparison thing, and at 6.5 years out it's very different than someone who's a newbie and fresh off, surgery. So, but it helps to keep me grounded, definitely. And, I urge everybody to make sure that you're finding supports. The accountability piece is huge. You have to have a way to be accountable, whether it's, your scale, your measurements, clothing size, your friends that keep you in line. Certainly my husband keeps me in line. There was a time where I was struggling, and I've mentioned this on previous videos, and I was up at one point up 27 pounds higher than my goal. And my husband, who, was overweight at the time, later had surgery, kind of nudged me and said, "Hey, hon, what are you doing? Don't waste it. Don't waste this gift that you're given." And he wasn't trying to do it in a mean way, and he wasn't trying to put me down in any way, but he knew that I was having a really hard time, and he nudged me, and I nudged myself, and I got back on track and lost, quite about half that regain after that. So, having a partner in your weight loss is really big, whether it's a friend or a family member, to help nudge you when you fail and just keeping you on track, because this is going to be a lifetime. It's not going to be a year. I mean, it's really easy to keep up a diet for 3 weeks, 6 months, a year. And then it gets tough because the treats creep in, we start stressing out, we have emotional eating, we get boredom eating days, we lose our focus and get off track. And I think this happens to most people. And if you're lucky, you get back on track right away. And hopefully it's not going to be a while, because, being off track quite a while can lead to some pounds coming back. And so find what works for you with your journey. For me, those are the things that work for me. But you have to keep yourself accountable, because it's ultimately, the choices are all up to you. And no one else puts anything else in your mouth, only you. So, all the regain that I've earned, boy, I've earned well. And it's up to me to work to get it off. But anyways, take care. Talk to you later, friends.